Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and this time I bring the repair, or rather a mini tutorial of what is of the Whirlpool Expert washing machines, since these washing machines have quite a few faults and many technicians disassemble them and all when there is no need to disassemble to give. This a verdict, or to know simply a bad word misused, but to give a good diagnosis of the failure, not then in this case well before that. The only thing I ask you to support me is that you subscribe to the two channels that I leave in the description. Many have told me that if you can donate everything to me, I am not interested right now. That interests me that they make the channels that I have in the description grow, a mine the same, but they are from several projects, some travel and another is from a boxing, so support nothing more with that. Also in the description of the videos I will leave download links in case it presents any failure of a spare part, and my online store will send them if they want to buy it there or even know more or less the costs. Well, this type of washing machines you can enter a safe mode, automatic test or manual test, calibration test and tachometer verification, all those types of faults. I'm not going to touch them. In the end, I'm going to touch just what this is, the code of. To enter technical mode, you have to turn the knob counterclockwise until you reach the position where it was, then you turn one to the right, one to the right, one back and one to the right. After the turn, complete all these steps of here. It should take 0.5 seconds per click. I'm going to do it so you can see. It's a complete turn, one to the right, one to the right, one to the right, one to the left and one to the right, and we would already be in technical mode, good to enter mode. Technical, there are several options. Well, I mean, they are already in technical mode. If you turn it to the right, it will turn you on, ready. All that no longer has to do with spinning or washing. All this already knows technical mode. If you click on it, there it is, code proof of errors. Well, if it hits you in the next one that you should turn on is squeeze or drained, that's what the automatic test is, in which it follows when you turn on squeeze, and that's it. It's the manual test. Anyway, I'm going to leave you a little window so that you can see. And you can download the manual in the description. The next one that is only rinse is calibration, is when you change a part. Always try to give a calibration for better operation. And finally, that turn on these two is the verification of the tachometer, for that you just click and turn it Latin, and they should start turning the spotlights. In this case we are going to go back to ready, which is the error-proof fault code. Rather, they do not understand me, no fault code and errors, sorry. Well, since it is selected there, you click and that's it. Your bulbs will start to flicker. That means that we are already in errors and failures. I am going to leave you a little window so that you can also understand me of the failures in the manual. There it appears that they turn on and that they do not. Then hear what we are going to do it when the lights are on. You turn it a click just like if it were a clock, and here it is marking that it turns on first. It is soaking, rinsing, draining, and that's it. They look on their board to turn on those lights since they are looking for that. The first advance look for the other that would be rinse and drain would be to play and drain to see. Then in this case the failure that this washing machine is giving me according to the manual, if I am not wrong, according to the manual, is giving me a fault that is a failure of the motor. Says check motor coils or capacitor. Many times that happens maybe because you disconnect something but you have to check all the faults, not when you move to another one. It gives you another error code. That in this error code tells you not to fill or fill slow while this failure now does occur when the bulbs are very covered or when you have low pressure in your pipe. In this fault it is very common that nothing is damaged but you have little water pressure. Because you have low water pressure, the only thing that will be Your washing machine, after 6 minutes that it sees that it does not have the pressure or does not fill, is going to throw out all the water and it is going to turn off, or the next one is going to pause, and it only comes out that it is this soaking because practically there it no longer has practically no has a fault that is already a neutral code, and when that appears to you all these foci, it means that there are no more fault codes then, and you keep giving it, and the first code that I know will appear again. Is dialing a code of the motor, then you go straight to the motor and already being direct in the engine. So let's see, let me check the camera already being you in the engine. You already check if the motor or the capacitor is actually burned, and the bulbs come out well. That was the first one. That is the error code to proof of failures or failures and errors. Excuse me as I say, to get out of this test you only have to turn off 3 seconds 1 2 3 already, and you can turn it back on. And it is going to turn on normal. We are going to enter the other one, which is more, that is very important to verify if the tachometer or the actuator serves, which is the verification of the tachometer. We re-enter technical mode is 1 2 3 4 5, there it is, and it is wash and rinse. There they are, I say, wash and ready. Here you click it, it has already entered the tachometer. I'm going to take the camera to see if you will be able to perceive it a little. That is on. It is totally what happens that the camera takes the blinking. You must what you must. To do is to rotate the tub. When you rotate the tub, you must rotate the LEDs that are at the top to see what the tachometer is useful. Look, I'm going to make a close-up. I'm going to turn the tub. You saw at a higher speed that they rotated. Van. To go turning faster, what does that mean? That the tachometer does work. Look, I'm going to stop the tub to it. The wall is going to stay advanced a little bit. I'm going to give it slowly, just so you can see that if it's that, and that's it. Look, there it is. The tachometer is working, then we turn it off again. There it is. We go back into technical mode. That was tachometer 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. If it doesn't come out the first time, don't worry, because there are times that it has happened to me that, well, I don't like it. They come out the first time, either by X or Y. Well, let's do a calibration. For the calibration, only the rinsed one must be on. There it is. Look, rinsed. I hope you can see it more or less. If not, well, that's the only thing you have to do. It's click and they're going to start spinning the bulbs normally, but it's going to start going the pump, then it's going to spin, it's going to be a wash, and it's going to start doing everything, detecting all its parts to see what wave comes out. Look, it's doing it, remember. That if you like my content, then like it, comment, share, subscribe, since that helps me a lot. If someone is interested or something, then any doubt they have, I always try to answer everything. Always everything they notice now is already doing the washing. To check that I'm okay, I always answer the only detail that then I do. The truth is that I don't have time and it takes a little bit, but there are times that it's almost answered them immediately and watch the whole video, because there are times that they don't ask me questions that I say in the video then, or questions that the truth is that they tell you things that are not even relevant to the case. We are going to wait for the calibration to end so that you can see what it is like when the calibration is over. That in theory you can stop it after a while, but there is no. So much problem not. Then the only thing that if all the Whirlpool Expert system all is entered into technical mode the same, of course some you can start from here to there, or everything is the same, but I do recommend that if something is damaged by the Regular of these, the bulbs and the actuator are always damaged, but if your actuator is already damaged, check that it is not throwing water, because if it is already throwing water, it will burn it again. Look, right now they have turned on all the bulbs, they are all on. It is what happens that the cell phone. It appears that so much blinking, and that's how they must be. I say the camera that brings a camera to the DJI Osmo Action. Look, everything is already being done when this is you. Don't move it, don't pay it, don't do anything to it. I'm going to leave it just for you to see. You take the other two. I don't touch them because it's calibration. I mean, it's this manual error test and automatic test. In the automatic test you can try insurance, pump, motor and everything, but it's also longer, and the truth is that I don't see it as necessary. The most necessary thing is, what will I show you? This calibration and everything, how to enter the service. In technical mode there are many that stay blinking. It is here I enter into a dilemma, because there are times that there are washing machines that turn off by themselves and give a little sound. There is another that all the bulbs remain blinking. But that's it, that is, you turn it off, and there are others that only stay. This one, many are going to tell you don't do that, that it's going to decalibrate and everything. No, I repair these washing machines a lot. Look, right now it's doing the spin, it's doing the spinning. It's already finishing testing everything. Last, before finishing you're going to notice, because they make a buzzing sound like it turns off, and this one votes the insurance and everything, and that's it. As I say, I'm going to leave you a small manual on the side, but if you want, download it and see it more so that you understand me a little bit in depth right now. It keeps going around Latina and everything suddenly goes off. Suddenly, no, it's already checking all its stuff. This calibration takes 5 to 15 minutes in the manual, then it tells you 3, then it tells you 15, then it tells you always take different times. There are some that take around a quick minute, and there are others that are thrown up to 15 minutes. And also, when you are working with a client, explain to him, tell him there is no need to disarm. I tell him that's why I am checking from here, from the card. I am getting into technical mode or checking errors and all, because if not, then they think that you don't know how to move it and that you are just playing with its device and you don't even know how to turn it on, because as you are moving and moving the knobs while it is going to end, the button will surely be working like this when this is already being done. That is practically over. As I say, you can support me as soon as you subscribe to the channels I have. The description one is about unboxing and the other is about trips that I'm going to start doing, but I'd like to start a little better with several subs and everything, and that's the way I more you can support me, because if there are many who tell me how I support you and thank you because I answer you and everything, then you continue to support, and I will also continue to support you by answering your doubts, because with all that kind of thing you can save a lot without the need to call a technician, because many technicians, I am a technician, but I have many acquaintances who really work very, very badly or are simply outdated. Well, it seems that this is practically over. With that, it is practically over. Well, if you have any doubts, then put it in the comment box, and if you liked it, like, comment, share, subscribe, and see you until next time.